Meet the artist Jay Goldcrown. His first name is actually James. Born in West London, he is a self-taught artist, photographer, and now lives in Los Angeles, California. He left school at the age of 17. He got a job working at a South London darkroom, leading him into a career as a fashion photographer. After 7 years in the industry, he decided it was time to try new things. Goldcrown spent time in Africa making an independent film. He donated all of the money he earned to a special cause. In 2007, Goldcrown moved to New York and re-entered the fashion world. He began incorporating mixed media into his photography, influenced by his previous days as a street artist in the early 1990s. This meant that he used his art as a mural and painted on walls and buildings. His many projects led to his first show in Miami, where his work sold out in only 2 hours. Now he is an internationally renowned artist, and he is best known for his Bleeding Hearts and Love Wall murals. He has collaborated or worked with many brands such as Tom's, L'Oreal, Universal, MTV, and even a luggage company. In addition to being displayed across cities such as New York, Los Angeles, Miami, London, Shanghai, and Tokyo, Goldcrown sells his art privately all around the world. Today, boys and girls, we are going to learn how to create art like this famous contemporary muralist. All right, everyone, now we're ready to create art like the artist Jay Goldcrown. What you're going to need is, if you have it, a black piece of paper. You can also use white drawing paper. Here I have some drawing chalks, but sidewalk chalk will work just fine, and a damp sponge. What I'm going to do for this lesson is I am going to use his idea of repetitive hearts. This means that I am going to draw hearts that repeat all over my page. Now don't worry if your hearts aren't perfectly formed. Jay Goldcrown has a very unique style when he draws hearts. He makes them long and skinny, and since he uses spray paint, oftentimes they are full of drips, which make it special for him. To make our chalk here look more like spray paint, what we're going to do is we're going to do a little bit of blending. So the first step is to pick the color you want, and you're going to draw hearts all over your page. Start with that candy cane shape, or an upside down or sideways J, then do it on the other side. Notice that Mrs. Fowler made hers long and skinny. I can make them short and chubby. It's really up to you as an artist. So it is also important to make sure that you fill your page so some stick off the edges. So I could put half of a heart sticking off here. Have to turn that a little bit there. I'm just going to work on filling my entire page with one color of heart first. Then I will go in and do that blending. I like to fill my whole page like this because I'm going to need to clean my finger, and I'd rather only do it a couple of times instead of every single time I use a color. So I have a variety of sizes. I don't have to do all pink or red. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to retrace them actually, because the more pigment you have on your page, the better. So you want to see that chalk dust? I'm not going to blow it off. That's going to make it easy to blend. You want to think to yourself, trace it 2 or 3 times. It's really a matter of how much color you want on your page. There we go. Okay, so now that I have them drawn and traced 2 or 3 times, I'm going to take my finger and blend that pigment to give the illusion of spray paint. Just like so. So I will do that for all these red hearts, and then I'm going to speed up the video and I'm going to overlap all the colors I can. If you noticed in Jay Goldcrown's pieces, he fills his surface, which is usually a brick wall or any kind of wall, with as many hearts as he can. But he is very thoughtful in the way he repeats and overlaps his hearts. So, if I'm finished, I don't want this dirty finger. I will just take it and wipe it on that damp sponge. And now I'm ready to switch colors. Speed up the video so you can see a complete project. If you start noticing little fingerprints, you can take your damp sponge and wipe off the fingerprints. Make sure you clean your finger after using every color, because if you don't, all your colors will end up turning brown. So here I have my finished piece. While I was working, you might have noticed that I was only touching it with a couple of fingers. I still ended up with a few fingerprints. So what you can do is with a damp Q-tip, I dipped it in a cup of water, you can go in and just gently rub off your fingerprints. Also, chalk doesn't stay on a piece of paper. You have to use something called a fixative to make it stay. So, here's an art teacher hack. Instead of going and buying fixative from a store, you can actually use something that most of us have at our homes. Hairspray. So I'll give this a light coat of hairspray and then the chalk will be permanently on my page. And just like that, you have a J. Goldcrown inspired piece of art. So much fun, so much joy. Boys and girls, I can't wait to see your beautiful masterpiece. Let's give this a quick spray. You may notice that the colors look a little bit darker, but once it dries, we'll be back to its regular color. All right, have fun everyone. I'll see you later.